Welcome to the Farm Stand Kitchen. We are going to be a little devilish in here today. We're going to be making some deviled eggs. I've had you guys ask me for this one, and we always make them for Easter, so I thought I would just share my recipe with you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is actually in the new Farm Stand Collections cookbook. It's on page 15, called Delicious Deviled Eggs. So we're going to follow that recipe and make some deviled eggs. So I've already boiled my eggs. I have them right here. I actually have 7 here. The recipe calls for 6, but I had some in, I just had 7 in a carton. So I thought, oh shoot, I'll just go ahead and do the 7. I think will be fine. These are a little small. We had talked about that before, how the eggs seem to be smaller now. I've especially noticed it since the COVID-19 deal. Seems like the eggs are so much smaller. They say they're large and they're not. They're more like mediums and smalls. So what we're doing here is we're just cutting them in half and we're just taking the yolks out. And you know what this reminded me of today when I was doing this was the eggs a la goldenrod. Remember, Dave, when we made that last year with the Easter eggs?
That was good.
Yeah, eggs a la goldenrod. That was so good. Now, Dave is a big fan of deviled eggs. Mm-hmm. He really likes them a lot. We really don't make them a lot. We make them for special holidays and stuff.
I'm a big fan of food.
You're a big fan of food. We know that. We know you're a big fan of food. Okay. Now, I can tell you a little tip about boiling eggs. A lot of you have asked me about that. Why do I have such a hard time peeling my eggs? Well, it helps a lot if you just put like a teaspoon of vinegar in your boiling water when you're boiling your eggs. That really helps a lot. So you could try that. See how that works for you. Okay. So we're just going to put these on this plate, which will be fine. They'll look all nice and pretty right there in the center. Okay, so let's continue on. So I already have my little teaspoon of mustard in there. It was the easiest way to do it, is just set it in there. So now you just want to take a fork and just mash these up. And I kind of like to do this in something that's flatter, just like this nice little entree dish here. So a bowl, it's kind of hard because you got your sides. So I like to make them in this little dish right here. So we're just going to smash those with a fork. Boy, those are pretty egg yolks. Really pretty. Okay, just get them nice and smashed in. Okay, now remember, we already had our teaspoon of our mustard in there. Okay, so let's add our 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And this is the real stuff. This is not Miracle Whip salad dressing. This is mayonnaise. Okay, now we're going to add our 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And then I do this by scratch. I figure these recipes out. So I just have this in my head. So I have to look and see what I wrote on here. So this is our tablespoon of white sugar. And then we're going to add just a little salt and pepper. Now my deviled eggs are pretty simple. There's all different ways that you can make them. You can put them with spicy stuff. You can, people make deviled eggs so many different ways. But I just kind of like to keep them simple. And Dave is a huge fan of these. He likes this one just in the simple form. Mm-hmm. And with a little bit of sugar and the vinegar in there, it's just the right combination. Okay. Just going to get those thoroughly mixed up there. All right. I'll just use this spoon now. Okay, now Now some people get really fancy and they use a piping bag and they pipe these in, and you know, then they like really fancy, but I don't do that. I just fill them. I just make them just like that. And then we'll just continue on here. I don't think that it'll take us too long. We could probably do these. We'll see here. We make quite a few of these when we're cooking for everybody. Like I say, we always do make these on Easter, of course. But I just use a spoon. I just put it in like that. Like Dave says, doesn't matter what it looks like if it tastes delicious.
Correct.
And I try to remember that because I'm kind of a perfectionist and I always like my food to look a little manicured. But when it comes to a deviled egg, I've seen people in our family just pop the whole egg in their mouth. Dave, I think you've done that too.
Oh yeah, I have.
Just pop the whole thing in there. I hope you guys have some great plans for Easter. I know it's a little different this year, and I know we can't all get together, but I really encourage you to still cook a little something and do some celebrating. We don't want to stop celebrating. We want to, let's just keep doing our thing. I'm all for that. I'm not going to stop celebrating. I really wish I could see my family though, and the grands, but we'll just do a little FaceTiming and it's all going to work out fine. Me and Dave will eat our ham together. Hey, you guys just watched the ham video. That finally posted. We've had a heck of a time with Facebook today. They're updating and Dave's joke got posted really late, but you did get to hear it. I had so many people message me, "Where's the joke? Where's Dave's joke?" I'm like, hey, I posted it. They just didn't download it. But they finally did. So you got it in the evening, which was kind of fun. It's kind of different. All right. So I like to just put a little paprika on mine. And I'm actually, let me see if I can, let me wipe my hands off here. I don't know if I want to sprinkle it or actually shake it. This is kind of a big can. I think I might get a little bit out. Let's do that. There we go. So I like to just put a little paprika on them. Just a little. Doesn't have to be much. Just a tiny bit. Just make them look a little festive. And I kind of like the flavor of paprika anyway, with eggs. I like to do it like this instead of shaking it out. You can kind of control it a little bit better. Aw, don't those look pretty? Let's just put a little out here too. Not that. Looky there. We just made some deviled eggs for Easter. So there we go. I'll post the recipe for you guys for those who don't have the cookbook. You can enjoy some deviled eggs.